What's up, psychos, and welcome to day 21 of 30 days of book recs. We had a couple of days talking about books so dark that they're more on the horror side than romance. We're gonna start moving back into romance. We're gonna start really dark and slowly start climbing our way up into the land of the light, and we'll finish off on a lighter note. But today, be warned, this book is still very freaking dark. It is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. This book is actually traditionally published, and it is so dark that it blows my mind that this is a book that you can literally just pick up off a shelf in like your local Barnes and Noble. The content of this is honestly some of the darkest content I've read. I'd put it right up there with like Better Run, for example. The difference is the dark content happens with a villain as opposed to the main characters. But now, I've spoken about this book before on other channels, and I have had some feedback in the comments of some people saying that they felt that I maybe spoiled a part of this book. Everything I talk about on this video is information that's available in the synopsis. So if you're somebody who likes to go into books completely blind and know nothing about it, maybe skip this video. I won't say anything that isn't directly mentioned in the synopsis for the rest of you if you'd like to stay. So, Still Beating, this is the cover that's available in traditional stores. It's so pretty and beautiful. Considering how dark this book is, I do think this cover is a bit more on brand, which is why this is the one that I purchased. I read this book in a day and a half because I was so on the edge of my seat. I don't think you understand, like, I needed to know that this couple was gonna be okay. This story follows Cora and Dean. There's a bit of a taboo element in here as well too, though for me, that was barely even a factor in the book. I've seen people say I'm not gonna read that because I think this is just wrong, and it's like, read the book. It is so much more than the fact that Dean is engaged to Cora's sister at the beginning of the book. That's literally just, the book opens with Cora and Dean at an engagement party for Dean and Cora's sister, basically. And they have this kind of rivalry relationship. All of them have known each other since high school, and Cora and Dean kind of had like this like prank war thing going on. So Cora honestly like is kind of annoyed by Dean at all freaking times at this engagement party. But you as the reader can kind of see that on Dean's end, it's a lot more playful. Like, he doesn't, when he's teasing Cora, it's borderline flirting a little bit. It's appropriate considering where they are, but you can just tell there's no malice from where Dean is coming from. Anyways, everybody leaves the engagement party, and Cora's still talking to somebody at the bar. When she decides it's time for her to leave, she goes out to call a cab on the main porch of the bar area, and there's this like creepy man standing there, but she's like, whatever, it's a bar, there's creepy guys everywhere. When she gets out there, she realizes she doesn't have her wallet, goes back in to check, her wallet's gone, somebody stole it. So she goes out and she calls a bunch of people, nobody answers. The only person that answers to come pick her up is Dean. And he's like, no problem, no questions asked, I'm on my way. He comes to pick her up, she gets in the car, and they're kind of having this little bit of like a squabble about Dean's basically being like, we should really just try to be more civil with each other because, you know, I'm getting married to your sister, blah, blah, blah. And then lights start flashing in the back, and Dean's like, oh shit, I'm getting pulled over. And they get pulled over by an unmarked car. Sorry, something's in my eye, that's driving me crazy. The man who gets out of this unmarked car is not a police officer. He breaks the window, somehow manages to knock out both Dean and Cora, and both of them wake up chained up in a basement. Now, if that's not bad enough, I already was like, what the hell is happening in this book? The creepy man from the bar is the one that abducted them. He comes down to the basement and basically informs them that with a weapon, a firearm, he basically informs them that he expects Dean to non-con Cora. And Dean is like, absolutely freaking not, I'm not doing that. Cora's like, are you crazy? Obviously he's crazy. And then it gets pretty hostile, and he's like, do it or I will literally kill him. And Dean is still like, no. And then Cora's like, fine, just do it. Just like, don't kill anybody. So then that happens. And then this man kind of puts them on this like weekly cycle of just horrors. One week it's Dean, and then the other week it's him, and it's back and forth, and Dean has to watch it every time, and Cora has to endure it. And it's literally just so freaking horrible. And you find out like later that this is kind of this serial unaliver's MO. His like name in the media is the matchmaker, and he finds people that absolutely should not be in a relationship together almost intentionally, and like forces them to trauma bond through this like messed up freaking game that he plays. But anyways, I'm gonna stop with actual events of the story in here and get a little bit more general because I don't want to spoil too much. But the relationship between Dean and Cora in this book absolutely broke me. Like, their trauma bond, how how they managed to survive this like horrific thing together. And Dean is just too pure for this world. Like, he is absolutely an amazing character. Anybody who goes through any sort of trauma deserves somebody like Dean to help them out. Like, as much as he was traumatized as well too, like, he was just such a pillar of strength for Cora, and he made very difficult decisions that Cora just wasn't able to make for herself. And I just absolutely love this book. I think I've read this book 2 years ago, and I literally remember it like I read it yesterday. It is just like imprinted on my freaking soul. So if you can handle really dark content, I 10 out of 10 recommend this book. The romance in it was amazing. I feel like I should call this series 30 Days of Goosebumps, because I'm giving you guys all of my favorite recs, and every time I talk about them I get like chills. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this book, and thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today. We're doing another pretty dark book again tomorrow. It's not a romance, but it's not a horror. I would call it a love story. Like, think like Nicholas Sparks, where just like the end guts you. But yeah, I love y'all, and stay weird. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching today's episode of 30 Days of Book Recs. I will catch you in the next video. In the meantime, if you did want to support me by checking out any of my books that I've written, here's my backlist. I've got a wide range in here, from a contemporary surf romance to some pitch black paranormal dark romances. Take your pick. All of my books are available on KU if you want to check them out. I also have videos detailing the content of each book if you want to check them out on my channel. But I totally understand if that's just not in the cards right now. You might be going like, Alex, in this freaking economy? Yeah, right. So if you don't have the means to financially support me by reading the books, that is obviously totally okay too. I am just glad that you are here. So any interaction that you can give me on this video goes a long way. So if you want to like, comment, or subscribe, really anything is appreciated. Just smash all of those buttons. Okay, thank you. I love you. I'll see you in the next video.